So what's up, Misfit Moto? Today we're back on the Segway. We started doing a few things. We got this Quake LED light bar mounted. We're doing a aux beam switch on the dash. All that stuff will be installed and videoed to put on YouTube. And but we just got back from Northwest Alabama Ride Park, and man, we had us a good time. We did take the Segway. Didn't get rode as much because that park is pretty wild. Definitely an awesome video coming out. The 950 HOEX crew was there. We had 4. We followed a Maverick, Can-Am Maverick all day long, and a Honda Talon. And one of the 950 HOEX outran the Talon in a drag race. So definitely check that out. Real Talk Power Sports has some really good footage on some of this stuff. But while we were up that way, we decided to take the Segway and get it tuned at Main Street Cycles. Team MSC tune put in it. The Segway Fugleman is a beast from the get-go. It's fast, it's reliable. This here is actually a 2022 leftover. Was purchased in 23. We're getting around to finally getting it up. Got big plans. Forward arched A-arms from Moorhead, 32 carnivores, super ATV skid plate, and a few other things coming for it. Clutch springs, because this is an oddball, has a HZ clutch from Life Outdoors. We put a Life Outdoors tip on the exhaust to hopefully cut back on some of the heat. The Team MSC tune, as soon as we got in it, you could tell the heat really cut down on it. And man, the power. I mean, it's just, this is their latest and greatest tune for Segways, and it's there. It's worth it. These machines here are a powerhouse, and the power transfer is really nice. Of course, with Segway, they do have, with the UT10, you get that big screen, beadlock wheels, these nice full doors, and at time of purchase, it comes with a free windshield. Also, a lot of Ranger stuff fits, like these light bar mounts are Amazon special, but they're for a Ranger 1000. We have quite a bit of riding, mostly just gravel road style riding in the Segway. And where we went this weekend, if this machine would have been on some 32s and had an upgraded skid plate, I no doubt it would have went anywhere. That we went in a 950 HOEX, Can-Am Maverick. I mean, this machine will handle its own. The only flaws that really just irks me on the Segway Fuglemans all the way up until the 2025s is the cage design. This thing is so tall, you have to air down the factory tires to get it to fit in a trailer, whereas like a sport UTV on 35s fits in my enclosed trailer. So definitely would like to do a chop cage, custom cage on it, which affects your windshield down the road. You'll have to have a custom windshield made for you. But back to the Team MSC tune, back to the aftermarket. Every machine that comes out new to the market, whether it's CF Moto, whether it's Segway, Kimco, Bighorn, there's several machines out there. Now some of them I would not recommend like I do Segway or CF Moto, but the aftermarket is really stepped up between what Segway has pushed out with the Villain and the talks of the Super Villain and their new UT10 Pro that comes with metal doors, 30s, 6-seater. I mean, it's a really nice machine for the money. With that being said, the Z10's coming out for CF Moto. So both of these brands, of course, we have, and we have had great service out of them. We've went anywhere pretty much that we've wanted to. And everybody is scared, I say scared, doesn't want to buy something that doesn't have aftermarket support. And I totally understand that, and I get that. But if you're just going to use it on the farm, you know, say replace an old Ranger, Polaris Ranger, I mean, this is a perfect choice. But the aftermarket is stepping up. It's there. I mean, you can get forward arched A-arms front and rear. That'll allow you to run at least a 32. You got clutch kits now for the CVT clutching in the newer models. You got clutch springs for these models. You got bumpers, light bar mounts. Like I said, this cage is very similar to a Ranger. So a lot of the Ranger mounting brackets will work on this Segway cage, which will help you get some cheaper stuff, you know, off of Amazon, like stuff that you don't necessarily need, you know, that name brand or care if it's that name brand. But I mean, you just can't go wrong. Segway has really stepped it up, as well as CF Moto, but Segway, just the sheer power. If you go back, I'll drop a link in the bottom. We actually went to a Segway invasion, a Segway only event. Of course, there was everything there, but Segway was there and had a bunch of villains. And if you get a chance to test ride a Fugleman or a villain, it'll blow you away. Especially the villain. The villain has really messed up my mindset on what unit Misfit Moto should add next or replace the HOEX. But Iron Ball Tech makes a skid plate. Super ATV has some stuff coming out, such as windshield. But I feel like as long as the aftermarket has clutch kits, forward arched A-arms, they just come out with a bracket lift for these as well. So that would allow you to run a little bit bigger tire, maybe get you a little more ground clearance. But if you side-by-side compare Fugleman with a U-Force, with a Ranger, with a Commander, with a Mule, I guess not really a Mule, because to me they forgot about the Mule. I guess we would talk about Kawasaki Ridge maybe, as far as the power. I would put my money I could outrun your Ranger stock to stock, 1,000 units on this 2022 Segway, even before the tune, but definitely after the tune. I could really, we're over 100 horsepower on this machine right here. So I'm gonna get in, crank it up. We'll do a little bit of riding around here at just on the field, and just be able to see, the power, the speed pickup, different things. But we highly recommend the Team MSC tune as far as heat, more horsepower. You never can go wrong with more horsepower. So let's get in here, get this thing cranked up. The only other thing that irks me is Segway, the 2022s has a beep for reverse, or if you're not in the seat, or if your seatbelt's not buckled, and we haven't disabled that yet, but it's coming. It's very annoying. And so let's get to it. Let's get in here, get this thing cranked up, warmed up, and let's see it rip. The beep. So we're in the in cab. It's push button start. Very nice screen. Shows your angle, your power. We'll watch that some in this video, as long as we added a sound bar. Has a radio in it but no speakers, but it'll Bluetooth to any sound bar. You can set your phone up on it. This just shows your mile per hour. I think there's several things. Oh, this is your map. When you hook your phone up and back to your charts. And then that's to the Segway app. So let's crank it up, get the seatbelt on. This machine has 319 miles and 20 hours. Let's shift it to low. With the MSC tune, you can really tell the heat difference just on the back of your legs here in the end cap. We'll do a little low gear. We haven't got the Life Outdoor clutch springs in it yet, but that'll be to come here very shortly because 32 carnivores will definitely need it. And torque. The torque monster, I'm telling you. That was low gear. We got up. The cage doesn't squeak. So you see our chart. That's the aggravating beep. Alright, so now we'll do a high gear pull. Feels like it'll do a wheelie. So much torque. Gotta set the parking brake and put it in park before it makes a awful noise. Check our chart here. This is our high gear pull. Torque. The Segway Fugleman feels like it will tote the front tires with this tune. I mean, just the torque to the ground. I just can't wait to get it really, those 32 carnivores on it, get it maybe on some open road in high gear and see. I mean, you run it up to 65 and you still have pedal. So the powerhouse. Check out this tip we put on it. That's the Life Outdoors stainless tip. To help cut back on some of that heat, and it really pushes some air. Very nice, very well built tip, easy to install, and a cheap upgrade. You know, not everything has a cost a fortune, so there's going to be a lot to come with this Fugleman. I really like the platform as far as maybe a sport utility, you could call it. And so definitely follow along, like, subscribe for this Segway build. I'm really ready to get it off the ground. And get yourself a Segway Fugleman. It'll turn heads at the park. Just stop. I mean, we get stopped all the time. What is that? So check out misfitmoto.com. Christmas is coming, and we have sweatshirts, hats, t-shirts. There's even some shoes on there. So get yourself some Misfit Moto merch. And one last thing that I forgot to mention earlier in the video. There was 2 recalls done. One was a ECM flash and one was a heat recall, I guess. And they took some plastics off right in here. And on your newer machines, they come factory without them now. So, but that's the only thing that's been done. And definitely check out Segway and what they have to offer. The new UT6 just come out. Very nice machine. They got a full cab for it, and it's really going to be a competitor with some of your mid-size utility units. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment what you think about Segway platform and what they have to offer and what they have to come. See you on the next one.